up, Riveter Nation? It's Hail the Riveter coming at you this Freedom Friday morning. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. Alright, let's jump right into this Freedom Friday. So by this title, I'm sure you know I'm going to be talking about a F word. Besides Freedom Friday, of course. Family. So, this subject is very near and dear to my heart because I have a fantabulous freedom-loving family. I hope you guys don't see this as a cop-out as far as Freedom Friday goes. Honestly, at the end of the day, if you're new to my channel, new to my channel, or new to me, or Freedom Friday, welcome, first of all. And second of all, my name is Hail the Riveter. Usually I try to do new writer content or new writer geared content from a new writer perspective. However, I also run a patriotic segment called Freedom Friday, hence why you're here. So what I want to talk about is family, of course. Like I said, this is near and dear to me only because, you know, my family, I came from a family of 4 children and a mother and a father. I've never been divorced, still together, still trucking and rocking the marriage game, as well as my siblings. And then my little brother just recently got engaged last Saturday. So he's getting ready to get married as well. So like I said, I grew up in a family that most people who live in America don't really have the privilege to kind of grow up in. Both parents were present in the home. It was a very loving home. My parents gave us an excellent foundation when it came to ethics, work ethics, you know, principles to live by, morals. A lot of people would say that I came from a religious background, but it wasn't religious. It was a Christian faith-based background, and I am grateful for that. You know, of course, when you grow up, sometimes you may stray away from certain elements of your upbringing, but I think for the most part, my parents gave me a really, really amazing foundation. And that's what this country is all about. You know, you have the right to believe what you want to believe. You have the right to practice religion or your faith. You have the right to raise your children the way that you see fit. And I think that that's a lot of issues are coming into question currently nowadays, where the schools want to take your kids and raise them the way that they want them to believe, and you cannot have any say in it. So currently, you know, to give you some background of when I'm making this video, this is currently in the midst of the COVID pandemic, and what's been going on in a lot of the schools, since they're virtual, is a lot of the teachers in the schools are saying, the parents, you're not allowed to be present. You're not allowed to eavesdrop. It's like, yo, listen, Buster, like, I'm going to give you my kid. You're going to be telling them things, you know, teaching them or whatever. I'm paying my tax dollars to pay you, and you're going to be brainwashing my kids to believe what you want them to believe. I've always been one who stands with a real teacher is one who teaches children to think, not how to think. So you encourage them to think and come to their own basis and their own conclusions on topics that you may not necessarily agree with. But you've done your job in excellence as a teacher if you have taught them to think for themselves and not just think of what others tell them to think. So that's just my little rant, I guess, for the day. But my parents were not like that. You know, when it came to raising us, my parents were very involved in us, very involved in our schools. So a little background, my dad, initially he was a firefighter. When, like I said, I was raised, well, I wasn't raised, but I was born in El Paso. My parents have always been very firmly based in their beliefs, and they took it upon themselves to be very hands-on when it came to, you know, what the teachers in our schools were teaching us. They always told us, like, if you don't agree with the teacher, you need to be very respectful about it, and either ask to leave the class, or if they're not listening. So they would basically say, if you don't agree with what the teacher is teaching you, then you need to politely and respectfully state your opinion. And if your teacher wants to shut you down and disregard you and tell you can't believe that way, then you need to ask to leave the class, and then we will defend you from here. So I had parents who, like I said, they were very, very involved in our education. I have 2 older sisters and 1 younger brother. Very involved in our education, very involved in our upbringing, very involved parents. My dad, man, some of the fondest memories are on Christmas Day, getting presents. You know, you guys know if you've been watching some of my videos, I was a huge tomboy, so I liked getting, you know, remote control trucks and all kinds of boy toys growing up. And my dad, you know, he didn't have a son until the very last child. I always say, you know, I was just a mistrial for a son. I guess he got a son. I mean, he got a gun-toting, motorcycle-riding girl, so oh well. But he would always, you know, take our toys, and he was the first one to play with them. Those are fond memories in Christmas time, you know. He would take my remote control car and show me how to do it, but he was really playing with the toy. So, you know, we have memories of, you know, we had dinner together even as we've grown up. I don't know if you guys have watched Blue Bloods out there. They have their usual Sunday night dinner. We have tried to take that into account as adults, because we would always have dinner together. My mom, she also worked a job growing up, but then my dad took on extra jobs so she can be a stay-at-home mom and wife, you know. And my mother excelled at that. She showed us what a true wife and a true mother should be, and how she should be, and how she should conduct herself, and how to provide for her family. I get a lot of my cheap side. It's not cheap, it's more of a, you know, my mom would do, we were the middle class family where my mom would she would, you know, do the Dare to Compare at Walmart. She would take the circulars into consideration from other stores. Ooh, dirt is not my friend. Let me just take this slow real quick. So she would take the circulars and then do the Dare to Compare with Walmart to get the best price for us, because, you know, we were on a budget. It was 4 children in the household, and she was very good at it. She taught us how to, you know, take care of your husband and your children. And my dad, you know, taught us a very strong and healthy work ethic, to not quit, and a very good moral base, you know, to have morals, and to speak up for somebody who is being bullied or lesser than you, which basically means, like, if someone was putting them down, you know, then you need, and people who are less fortunate, to always take care of. My mom too, you know, she was the woman who you would have to tell, like, do not give the homeless people under a bridge food. Do not give them a ride. Well, don't give them food, but don't give them a ride for sure. She was the very kind-hearted. And I had the mom who would take in the all the little animals that were just out in the wild, all helpless. And my dad would be the dad who was like, nope, we're not taking in another animal to this household. And then, you know, a week later, the animal snuggled up on the couch with my dad. So that's the kind of family that I came from. And I honestly believe that America has afforded us, or afforded me, the kind of childhood that I would want anybody to have. And of course, you know, I like I've always said with my viewers and my subscribers, you know, if I say something that you don't agree with, I promise you I'm not a radical in any of my beliefs other than being a patriot. That's my only radical stance, is, if you would call it radical. But I'm not a radical in anything. So some people are like, well, you know, not everybody gets to have that family life. Oh, I'm not, I get that, I understand that, and I think it's a shame, but I'm not trying to say here like, oh, everybody should have it because it's the only right way to have it. I understand the generation that we live in now, and the times that we live in now, there's either one parent homes or same-sex parent homes. I get it, I understand that. My main point that I'm coming from is that my parents worked together as a cohesive unit to raise my brother and my sisters and I in a way that I, to this day, completely respect and appreciate. My parents may have not been able to financially give us every single thing that we want, which most parents, which parents for the most part can do that. Give your child everything they want. You know, honestly, I think those are bad parents, because you should give your kids what they need, but not everything they want, because they're going to grow up into spoiled, petulant little babies. That's just my opinion. So anyways, America afforded my parents to do that. And to my dad, you know, my dad was one of those men who, the fire department, he would work, you know, a certain shift or certain days on, certain days off. So my dad usually had 2 or 3 jobs at a time. Because he wanted to be that provider for us. I mean, there was 4 children, you know. So when we were in El Paso, we were like upper middle class. We moved down to Houston, like I said, for my parents to pursue the calling that they felt they had. And we moved down to kind of like lower middle class. But that's the thing, is my parents, like I've said in my past videos, I believe it was my 9/11 video, remembering 9/11, my parents never had all-out, knockout, drag out fights, all brawls and everything in front of us. So the very first time I ever saw my parents argue about something, I was super afraid, like, oh, is this what divorce looks like? Because we never saw that. It wasn't a norm to have my parents arguing, and they never, spoke about if there was any financial issues. We never knew about it because they always provided us with what we wanted. Growing up, I knew like I wasn't able to get name brand things, but my parents gave us everything that we needed in a loving and facilitating way. I'm so very grateful for my parents, and for the past few years my parents have not lived in the country actually. So they've actually, this video was spurred on because my parents are back in the States for a few months now, and they finally got to come down to Houston, and we were spending a few weeks with them. So we're cherishing that time that we have with my parents. My sisters are older, they're married, they have children, and like I said, my little brother, he's older now, and he has a fiance as of last week. And it's crazy to see what our life paths have taken us. And my parents have always, like I said, been diligent in raising us. I'm so very grateful for my parents and everything that they did. I can remember one time specifically, and I try not to cry every time I say this story or relay this story, because it is very near and dear to my heart. Oh goodness. But one time my mom, she took me to the store, and I saw her, like I said, she would always weigh out what she was going to buy, what the cost of everything was, and I watched her do this, and she told me, well, what do you want for lunch this week or whatever? And I think I just wanted one thing. I think it was like a certain type of ramen noodles or mac and cheese, something weird, something very stupid. And it was still cheap because I've always tried to take in my parents' financial situation into account whenever I was, asking for something or wanting something. So it was something relatively cheap, and not too expensive. And I saw my mom say, okay, like she acknowledged that I wanted it, and she said, yeah, that's fine, you can get it. And we were getting ready to check out, and it was just her and I at the store, and she pulls out an item from the cart. She pulled out an item from the cart just to make sure that I can get what I wanted, And like I say, I try not to get too choked up here, but that's the kind of parents that I had and that I have, and I'm utterly grateful for them because they have literally given me the foundation to set me up for success. And I can only wish to give that to people who are involved in my life, because it's a great thing to have an amazing foundation to back you up, to support you 100%, and to always take care of you, regardless of how you are. But and my siblings, I love my siblings with everything that I have. My sisters are my best friends. Woo, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make this super emotional, but I'm so grateful to live in this country, and I'm so grateful that God blessed me with the family that I have. And my sisters would do anything for me, and I would do anything for them, to make sure that they're set in their life and they have what they need. And my sisters and my sisters' husbands have been a huge blessing in my life, and I'm so thankful for them. And that's what this country affords us to make these decisions, to see who we want to marry, the kind of life that we want to pursue. That's what America is about, of bringing people together. We are a very diverse family now, and we all love each other. No matter what, we all love each other. Yes, we have our little fights and whatever, but we all love each other, and we know that we cannot make it a day without each other. And I don't know what I would do if I ever lost anyone in my family. I love them tremendously. And now, like I said, you grow up and you have to branch off from your immediate family, and you have to make your own family. And you kind of have to take that on, to see. You have to pick somebody to spend the rest of your life with that has everything that you're going to need for your life, that's going to protect you and take care of you the way that you deserve, and you try to find true happiness with somebody. And I honestly am so grateful for my significant other, for a lot of the things that they do and provide for me. I have been in a serious relationship before, of course, and you know, of course, you know, a lot of relationships don't work out, you know, for different reasons. And sometimes I believe that we kind of sell ourselves short. We tell ourselves like, this is all that's ever available, so this is all I'm ever going to be able to obtain. And that's not true at all. It's not true. If you sell yourself short, you're going to be selling yourself for a life of misery and inconvenience, because you're not happy, and that's going to bleed down into your children. And so I am so very grateful and thankful for my significant other and the time of my life that they came into. You know, every day we're a team, and we rock out life as a team, and everything we do is a team effort. And I could, like I said, I could only hope to bring the kind of childhood and the upbringing that my parents brought to my people who are involved in my life, because I believe it's the right way to do, to show a child true love in the household, and to show them that you can sacrifice for them to make them happy, because they are the ultimate goal. You know, you guys, whoever, if you're my viewer and you have children, you guys are bringing up the next generation. We know this, and you know, we have to value them while they are young. Not throw them, not just cast them to the side because, you know, they're annoying because they talk your ear off half the time. Excuse me, but they are your legacy. They are your legacy. Everything that you put into life, they are going to reap it. So you got to put good out there into your children so they can be good as well, and turn around and continue that, you know. So that's just my little thing for, you know, Freedom Friday is family. It's just another F, you know, Freedom Friday for family. And I hope to hear stories of you guys and your family. I'm sorry that this was an emotional video, but it's something, like I said, that's very near and dear to my heart. I truly love my family base, you know, my immediate family and my family that I have now, my family unit, even as dysfunctional as it may be. But I want to hear about your guys' family, and, you know, things that you do to make it special, you know, because every family has their memories, you know. And as many great beloved stories that I have crazy stories with my family, you know. Like I said, we were raised in a Christian household, and man, some people who think that religious people or Christians can't have fun, we had too much fun at times, and that was an issue. I love my sisters, I love my parents, I love my brother, and like I said, I love my new family unit that I'm creating. And that, I like, it just gives me it just leaves me at a loss for words, because that's like what I said, America affords us that decision. In some countries, you're not allowed to choose who you marry or who you spend the rest of your life with. And yeah, those marriages might last longer, because a lot of people say like arranged marriages, they last longer. That's the statistics. But it's kind of forced upon them. Here in America, we have the right to choose who you're going to love, who you're going to pursue a life with, and why. And you do currently have the freedom to see that your children are taught the things that you see fit. And we should not give up and you know, let that freedom go to waste, because it's truly a great freedom to have. It is. We need to be grateful and thankful for the freedoms that our soldiers fought for us to have on a daily basis, you know, and appreciate them and acknowledge them and hold on to those freedoms. Hold them near and dear. Do not let them be easily ripped from our hearts, from our hands, because those are our freedoms that they fought for. So I really do want to thank you guys for joining in with me this Freedom Friday. I hope you take a minute to reflect back on your family, however form and shape that takes your family, you know. I hope that you take some time to reach out and send them something that you appreciate them today, you know, because I think sometimes with the busyness of our life, we kind of forget to tell those who are involved in our life, you know, that we're thankful and we're grateful for them. And sometimes losing one of those family members or somebody, it robs us of, you know, giving them that true appreciation that they deserve. So like I said, thank you guys so much. My name is Hill the Riveter. Like I said before, I usually try to make new writer based content from a new writer perspective, but I do sprinkle in, you know, love for my country, because I love this country, this great country, and I don't want to see it fall by the wayside. So thank you guys so much for your continued support. Give me that thumbs up if you like this video, please. It really helps my channel out. If you liked me and want more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and comment. I really do want to hear about you guys and your families, and you know, what you guys do to make your family special. There's so many stories that I can tell of both my immediate family and my current family. Little things that we do to, you know, show appreciation for the children and a significant other. You know, take a minute today and do that, please. Because we need a lot more of that. People need to know how they're appreciated. They really do need to know what the difference in their life, that in your life, that they have created, and how you really can't truly live without them. So be a great American today, be a great family member today, and thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day, a great weekend, wherever this video finds you. Peace.